In this video, I want to talk about something that gathers a lot of traffic when it does happen on the rare occasion, and that's when Warren Buffett sells stocks. A couple weeks ago, Buffett came out and he said that Berkshire Hathaway had sold, or trimmed rather, not sold, trimmed its position in airline stocks. But then at the Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting, which was held over the weekend, Buffett was asked if he trimmed his position, or how he went about trimming positions, and he said that they really don't trim positions. They're usually all in or all out, and really it seemed like one extreme to the other. And that led to the question towards Buffett, did you sell out of your position of airline stocks? And Buffett responded with yes. Now previously, Berkshire Hathaway had a very big position in airlines. I believe it was over $4 billion. It could have been double that, honestly, off the top of my head. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it was at least $4 billion. It was a very big position. So these stocks are probably going to move a decent amount when the market opens next. Buffett went on to say the world has changed for airlines, and I don't know how it's changed, and I hope it corrects itself in a reasonably prompt way. After that, he went on to say he doesn't know if he's going to see as many people traveling in 3 to 4 years as they are, or as they were last year, 2 years ago. Obviously not right now, because people aren't traveling too much right now. He then continues on to say that he was wrong about the business and about this thing that had a 1% chance of happening. It had nothing to do with the great CEOs. He says that the companies were very well managed and they did a lot of things right, but right now the airline business is just a difficult business. Now in the past, as a lot of people know, Buffett's been a big fan of airline stocks, mainly because we know Buffett likes to buy things that are going to be around for a long period of time. Everyone knows for flying purposes, you need to fly to go on vacations. Sometimes you need to fly to visit family members. You fly for business purposes. There's a lot of reasons that people fly. Second, airline stocks generally pay a dividend, which Buffett is also very interested in. Now, the pandemic has really forced airlines to really struggle and suffer, as all the CEOs have come out and say. But before this, airlines were making good money. They were pretty profitable. These 4 airlines hadn't had a loss in years. But this year, travel's down 95%, which is a very high amount. Whether you're interested in this business or not, you can tell 95% of lost business is very bad. You also know it's bad when companies are receiving $25 billion in grants and loans and they're still having to make massive layoffs and they're still losing lots and lots of money. But despite all this, airlines can still be viewed as a really good investment for a long-term investor, which is why some people might be a little confused as to why Buffett sold out of them. Look at where these stocks were in February. American Airlines is down from just over $30 a share. Southwest is down from almost $60 a share. United is down from almost $90 a share. And Delta is down from over $60 a share. So you got to think, yes, Buffett is right here in the short term because these airlines are definitely going to take a little while to recover because they've taken massive loss this year. But you got to think long term. People are still going to travel for business. People are still going to travel to visit their family members. I don't know if travel is going to be as frequent because I feel like a lot of things are going to change because of this pandemic. I think a lot of people aren't going to go back to work. I think a lot of people are just going to be working from home more often because they'll see an increase in productivity, and obviously working from home is going to decrease the amount of money the company has to put out. I also think colleges are going to start moving online more and more, which I think was going to happen anyway, but this might speed it up. And I think honestly within like 100 years, you're going to see almost all colleges just completely online. But I think the airline industry is in a lot better shape than, say, the cruise line industry. I don't know how soon people are going to want to be going on cruises to go on vacation. And in addition, getting back to airlines, it seems like the Fed is just content with printing as much money as they possibly want to, or as much money as they possibly can, just to keep bailing all of these companies out. So it just seems like never say never. Now the big question here is, am I personally buying any airline stocks, and what airline stocks am I buying? And the answer is no. There's a couple of reasons I'm not buying any airline stocks right now. One of them is they're just too volatile. There's too much indecision in them. I just don't find them very attractive, to be perfectly honest. A lot of these airlines have a lot of debt, and obviously without any customers really, their balance sheet's going to be screwed up for the next couple of years, not just the next couple of quarters, which doesn't seem like the most attractive thing to me, because the thing that attracts me to a good stock especially is a good balance sheet. There's also just not a ton of guidance that these airlines can give you right now because they don't know what's going to happen. And that kind of goes with everyone. All of these governors, the president, everyone else. I don't think they know what's going to happen. They're just living day to day like essentially we are right now. So how can anyone give an investor some sort of guidance in this industry? I just don't see it. More importantly, and this is the reason I really don't buy airline stocks ever, it's because it's hard to diversify as an airline from my perspective. So for example, say there's a flight at 8 a.m. and I want to fly out at 8 a.m. and the flight's only $50. As long as it's an airline I trust, I don't care if it's going to be Southwest, Delta, American. It doesn't matter to me as long as I know it's a good one. I mean, I might skimp out on something like Spirit or something along those lines, but I just don't care what airline it is. I know some people are very loyal to Southwest, they're very loyal to Delta, and they have reasons for it and they have good reasons. But me personally, it just doesn't bother what airline I'm on. It just doesn't bother me. And I feel the same way with cars too. I don't care if I'm in a Honda, a Toyota. It really doesn't matter as long as it's something reliable and it's going to get me to point A to point B in a realistic amount of time. I'm okay with that. But if you guys, or if there is someone out there buying airline stocks, or someone just bought an airline stock and they're a little concerned, I really can't blame you, to be honest. I have my reasons why I don't want to buy them. I'm going to stand by those reasons. But if someone's buying them, I think a lot of them are pretty good value. And with Buffett selling out of these shares, I think they're going to drop even lower and they're going to be a better value because I do think they're going to come back eventually. I think it's going to be a couple years before they get back to where they were. But as I just said, I think they're a good value and I think they're a pretty good buy. And I think there's a lot of stocks that are not as good that people are buying right now. Like cruise lines, for example, in my opinion, are just not the best buy. Staying very far away from cruise lines. In saying that, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys got some value out of it and maybe decided to buy into some airline stocks, or maybe you decided that airline stocks aren't for you. If you did buy some, let me know which ones you bought and your long-term outlook on them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.